feels like she bathed him down. He's shushy. This horse has no withers. So I'm not sure if I'm better off with the saddle or without it. I'm going to leave it there at least until it falls off. Then we might just go bareback. This horse first trip to town, guys. Who's got a horse that changes the mindset, the frame of mind when they leave home? What's that about? No confidence. There's a lot of things that contribute to that. But here's the one thing I'm going to keep coming back to. The good Lord has a great sense of humor. It all hinges on that. Because if I look at all the things that this horse naturally does, if I turn this horse loose and just go let her be a horse, we turn those two horses loose and three of us just crawl out of the pen, just let her be a horse. And we watch him run around his pen. Yeah, we might see him go pretty fast. But as you watch them come down the fence and they see that cone right there and they jump 14 feet sideways and never break stride, is that something you want to stay there once you get on? So when I watch what these horses do and how they respond and how they react to different things, I'm thinking, you know, there's some things in there that can be really fun for me. There's also some stuff in there that's not very useful to me. Okay? So what I'm trying to do when I approach is I'm trying to give my horse the opportunity to be the way the Lord created them to be. And in doing that, I'm going to give my horse the opportunity to work a little bit. Now, how many of y'all have kids? You that raise your hand have kids, you have horses too, right? Now, I have a 10-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old at home. And wow, I haven't put a halter and a lead rope on a 2-year-old colt yet that challenges me more than my 2-year-old son. And I find myself really scratching my head at times trying to figure out if I really am more persistent than he is. Because he's pretty good at it. But you think about, if you've got kids that age, when I tell my 2-year-old son no, what do you think the first thing he does? He looks at me. He can talk pretty good now, so it's not uncommon for him to look at me and say, "Are you serious?" And you know how many times I've sat on a horse or watched somebody else sit on a horse and they say the same thing to their horse? And the horse looks back and says the same thing right back. Are you serious? You want me to stand still? Can you not see that everything inside me right now says, I can? Not that I won't, it says I can. Does that make sense? So, if I'm going to give my horse the opportunity to be how the Lord created him to be, I'm going to give my horse a chance to go do his or her thing. Which means what? Well, I don't know much about pickles. But Darlene, when this is over, if I'm calling this horse Cucumber instead of Pickles, things probably didn't go so well. You ride this horse with a back cinch? Where you at, Darlene?
Yes, I do.
You do? You ever pulled it tight? Okay, all I'm trying to do is get everything set up right here so maybe, just maybe, everything stays put. Because here's what I'm saying. I'm going to crawl on this horse and I'm going to give this horse the opportunity to be a horse. Now, I'm not telling everybody to go home, rush home, and do what you watch me do today. Okay? There's times we'll have clinic riders ride with us at clinics, and I will sure challenge them to move outside their comfort zone just to help their horse a little bit. But what I'm fixing to do is probably not what most people are comfortable with. But I want you guys to have the opportunity to see where this horse's mind might go. I'm going to leave this lead rope, Darlene. I didn't tell Darlene that it doesn't cost nothing for you to bring your horse out and me to ride his demo unless it bucks me off. Okay, you notice how the horse is already leaving? And I haven't touched my leader over. All the gates are shut. So I'm going to give this horse the opportunity to just move around out here for a minute. That might be something new to this horse. Maybe when somebody gets up there, I'm not saying I like my horse to walk off when I crawl on. Does that always move that much? I gotta laugh about that. I just had a clinic rider, Queen Creek, Arizona last weekend. I swear this lady's horse moved her tail more than she moved her feet. So I'm just going to give this horse a chance here to flow around. And I'm just going to try to sit on this horse and see what she's thinking. She's really thinking I'd like to go outside this gate.
Okay, Laura?
Sit down.
Okay.
Really thinking she'd like to go outside this gate. She's a little bit bothered by my back cinch. So I'm just going to sit up here and let this horse flow around. What I want to know is how this horse reacts to stuff at low. Because here's what I've noticed. Horses can hide things from us. They can hide things from us pretty good at a walk. But as you start to add more and more speed, it's not so much that the horse can't still hide things from you. He's saying, well, I don't need to now, I've got you laid in. So you tend to see a lot more stuff come out in the horse at the low than you do anything else. And there's nothing more important to a horse than to figure out the rider's not constantly going to be in the horse's way at the low. We might have to get a couple of tractors and slide those bleachers down here by this gate. I'll end up down there here in a minute. She's just stuck here on this gate. Maybe I'll offer a chance to leave, see how much it takes. She said, I'm not too interested. Darlene's waiting on me right out the gate.
I know. Hold on, buddy.
So, if we're all crawling on our horse at home, and we're in an arena, you gotta let that.
Shit, didn't catch her
What do we
butt.
call that? That's not a dressage move. Well, that's just a little bit of fussing and complaining, but if you haven't noticed, she's been fussing and complaining since I pulled that back cinch up. But as I just slope around right here, I'm trying to say to her, you can fuss and complain all you want. I'm going to give you the opportunity to do just that. And that's where I really get to challenge myself as far as my frame of mind. Can I sit up here while this horse is stuck on this gate or kicking at me or whatever this horse wants to do and maintain a positive frame of mind?
Absolutely.
Now the horse finally left the gate a little bit. You see her venture out a little bit?
Yep.
No, go back. See if she'll venture out a little bit further. Tell you to notice there's another horse over here yet. She said, I don't care about the horse. Where's Darlene? What I'm looking for is as this horse flows around and realizes that I'm not going to complain about all the complaining she's giving me, that she'll start to search for something different. All I'm saying is you can't slow down and rest here by this gate. Now as she lopes around, the more she lopes around, the more confidence I'm going to build in this horse. when I can sit up here and show this horse that I've got balance, I've got some confidence, and I've got a centered seat, what I'd really like to do is end up down there at that end.
Oh.
She said, you better hold on then. Again, what am I doing?
Nothing.
Here's what my wife keeps telling me. See, when I tell my 2-year-old son not to do something, if he doesn't say, are you serious? He might look at me, he might not even look up, he might just do it anyway. And I'm thinking, ooh, I would like to make a little contact on that hiney right there. And my wife will step in and say, let's just redirect it. I'm thinking, well, can I make contact and then redirect?
No.
Now, here's the thing about a horse. I'm not saying that there's not ever a time to make contact, to offer a little discouragement. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you sit on a horse and all that horse wants to do is fuss and complain about everything, and then you start acting just like that horse and every little thing that horse does wrong, you start really getting after that horse for it, pretty soon you look just like a horse. And you tell me how that relationship is going to build into anything better than what it started as. Now, she gets it away from that gate a little bit, so maybe I'll let her slow down here. She says, man, that's a spot. You know, you can probably come up with an event, some kind of competition that just involves how well your horse will leave the gate. So here I'm going to offer a little direction. I just want to see if I can end up down here. What I'm not going to do is ask this horse to stay at the lope down here. I'd like to come down here and just say, you know, you couldn't rest down here. Tiffany, Marissa, come with me right down here in this corner. See if I can even bait this horse in. If I can't bait this horse in with these other 2 horses, then I'm thinking, this horse really loves Darlene. See what that horse's head is? Wouldn't it be nice if this horse could lope around with her head there? Now some of y'all might think, well, I don't want the head below the withers when I'm loping because then the hind end's going to come up. Just because the head went down doesn't mean this horse is going to buck. What you will see and you will notice, these horses' heads won't get lower than their withers until the horse starts to relax a little bit. Okay? So that's a good thing. Again, I'm sitting up here and I'm telling myself I've got the confidence to be up there and go how fast.
No, Trent.
Now I'm going to offer a spot.
Nope.
Stop and rest here.
Trent, knock it off.
She says, I'm ready. And I'm just going to step off and I'm just going to walk off. Now, the next time I crawl back on, I'm going to take everything off her head, but we're just going to go. I might not ever end up back down here. You guys might have to seriously meet me down at the gate. But here's what I want this horse to understand. You want to get bothered at the low, that's okay. You want to go a little bit faster, that's okay too if I'm the one sitting up there, all the gates are shut. Because I am aware of the fact that horses only get good at what they practice, other than what their mamas teach them as they're growing up. How much time do y'all spend on your horse at a lope? How much time do y'all spend on your horse at a walk? What if I said this? What if I said, if your intention is to do nothing more than walk down the trail, you don't ever have any intention of going faster than a walk. What if I said, if you don't want to take the time, put out the effort to go learn how these animals think and react to things, then you need to go buy a 3-legged horse that physically can't go faster than a walker. Because what most people do is they get up there and they practice going down the trail at a walk. Never gives them the opportunity to build any balance or any confidence sitting up there when this horse speeds up a little bit. So what happens when the horse gets spooked? How many of y'all's horses spook going down the trail at a walk? He's walking, he spooks, he comes 14 feet sideways and he keeps on walking. No, they don't usually spook at a walk. I'm not interested in spooking standing still. A lot of times I sit on my horse and something will show up. And it'll take so much of my horse's focus away from me that when he sees that object, all 4 feet just part like they're planting cement and I can't make him. I would rather sit on the horse that took off, parked all 4 feet. Because the longer that horse stands there in that position focused on that object, the more I can feel his body intense. Sometimes it's like he's just getting himself in position to see if he can bend my hips against the ground. He takes off. So my number one goal when I get up there and that horse's feet get stuck is just get the feet moving. I don't care where they go. I don't care if they go the opposite direction at 45 miles an hour. We need to get them moving. Because once I get them moving, then I can offer some direction. Now, when I call on one like I just did this horse with just a halter lead, and all I'm doing is picking up on one side versus the other, that's really all I'm offering, is a little direction. I'm not going to be able to offer much direction this time. The fun part about this is finding a spot to get off. But let's see if I have any different horse. You know, to me, this horse has already made some changes. In the fact of how she was when I first brought her out here and how she is right now. Now, tomorrow and Saturday, we'll have a 2-year-old half quarter, half Mustang colt out here that we're going to start. It'll give me a chance to show you guys what I'm kind of building my horse's mind and his foundation to get me to a point where I could go right outside and safe. But the process tomorrow is going to be the same as the process right here. I'm just looking for something that starts to motivate the mind. Think, hey, I don't have to react so much the way my mama told me. Here's why. She told me when I got spooked I should outrun that object. Okay? Well, think about this. When your horse gets spooked, you must outrun an object. How far does he have in mind that he's going to go? Do you know that? Yeah, it depends on the horse. If they're fat and out of shape, not far. If you're sitting on a thoroughbred, you might be to Kansas by the time they think about slowing down. Do you have any idea how fast your horse plans to leave? Well, here's what I'm going to say to my horse. I don't want you to run off. But if your mind is thinking it, and all I'm trying to do is restrict your feet,
It's gonna fall off.
I'm not trying to do anything to change your train of thought. All I'm doing is stepping on the brake while my arm pin gauge is stuck. That's all I'm doing. As soon as your foot comes off that brake, there goes your truck.
Oh yeah.
So if I let that horse go, but I say this, you were going to go a quarter of a mile, let's go a half a mile. And you were going to go at 25 miles an hour, let's go at 26. I'm going a little faster, going a little farther. When my horse pretty soon looks back and says to me, this ain't as much fun as I thought. So I'm going to use everything that this horse naturally wants to react. This is my advantage. And all I'm going to say is, if you got to go, then by all means, let's go somewhere. Again, I'm not telling everybody to go home. Just fall on and take the ride along. Once again, the little horse just leads. You know, at this point, I don't really know enough about this horse. Just from what I feel when I get up here, I could really school on her right there for it, but the mind's not ready for it. What if I said I had to prepare the mind before I could offer a lot of discouragement from some of these things she's been good at for a while that I'd like to see go away?
So would I. Make them.
So I'm going to kind of pick my battles. Now, what I felt standing there on the ground, all of a sudden, as soon as my rear end hit the saddle, not the same feeling. You might have to move that knee. All right. Just want you guys to see. Darlene, where you at? It's $300 if this horse bucks me off.
Nah.
Oh, here we go.
If you want, Darlene, if you sit right here and hold my hat on, that'd freak me up a little bit. Because the one thing I can't have happen, I can't have my hat fall off. It's got one code, right? Can she jump, Darlene?
Not. She hasn't.
My wife, please say we should have asked that before he got up there. Now, if I'm on a horse that wants to go, okay, I'm not saying you can just crawl on any horse and sit up here and turn them loose or take whatever off their head and go farther and faster than what they had in mind and they'll change their mind. I'm not saying it works that way every time. I'm saying you've got to learn to read the horse and figure out exactly how your horse's mind works. Because on some horses, it might work pretty good. Your horse is scared of cattle too. Right there.
Yeah, well, you
So I
know.
can't rest by the gate. So I'm thinking about what we're fixing to do with that barrel horse right there. I'm saying if we play this game with Tiffany, then what I can say is, all right, Tiffany, my demo starts at 10:15 tomorrow morning. You go ahead and start this and I'll see you in the morning. Because she might still be out here at 10:15 in the morning.
That's
Waiting for
possible.
that horse to figure out loping around is a lot of work. Now, I like this. Finally saw there was another horse in here. Oh, got that gate. Get too far from the gate. Okay, so I'm sitting up here and here's what I gathered. This horse is really, really good, Darlene. And keeping his mind focused where he thinks it needs to be, but it's really not here. See, I like to think that when my behind hits the saddle, the very first step that I'm going to ask for this horse is the most important. If I got to work my tail off and get this horse to wait and be patient for that very first step, what makes me think that horse is going to be any better down the road? Maybe he will be better after he works on some things a little while, but to just get up there and accept what I have, I want to start and think if I don't do anything to encourage something more or discourage a little of what I've got, what makes me think halfway down the trail he's going to want to wait over there either. Now I can say this, the love's getting a little slower. She's fixing to leave. She's fixing to leave the gate. You got a horse over there? She's saying, but it's not Darlene. Alright, so what about, there we go.
She knows leg real good.